Today, we are going to discuss how an ordinary life suddenly turned into one of the most horrific and disgusting stories in Turkish history. This story is not just a murder, it is a nightmare that forced the whole country to ask the question, what exactly was being served in that restaurant's kitchen? But that summer, the serenity of this town became home to one of history's darkest secrets. The truth uncovered by the investigation was a horror no one could have possibly imagined. The main character of the incident was the owner of a central restaurant in the town. An ordinary, trustworthy vendor. Just like any other, the townspeople were feeding their families with the food he cooked. But they didn't know the disgusting secret hidden within the meal. The disappearance of 11-year-old Mustafa was initially dismissed as a simple runaway case. But a critical moment changed the fate of the investigation. Mustafa's friend. The police were shocked by the statement given by the young friend. This child, who had witnessed the incident or had critical knowledge about the perpetrator's actions, broke his silence despite his fear. The young witness provided the police with details about where Mustafa was last seen with the restaurant owner, Oktay Tayfun Bulga, and recounted his suspicious actions. This courageous testimony completely shifted the direction of the investigation. The police now had a very concrete starting point, directly linking the suspect to the incident. Suspicions quickly focused on the restaurant owner. Even the first pieces of evidence found by the police screamed that this was much more than a simple murder. What emerged during the perpetrator's interrogation was a perversion that went beyond any film script. The child was not just a victim, but also made into a gruesome tool of a terrifying crime. The question that pierced the heart of Turkey and Kırkağaç: what exactly was in the food served at the restaurant? The police entered the restaurant's kitchen to investigate the blood-curdling allegations. When the evidence and the perpetrator's statements were compiled, the scene that emerged was the most disgusting food scandal Turkey had ever seen. It was alleged that the perpetrator separated parts of the victim's body and added them to the meals in his restaurant. This horror not only sickened the people of Kırkağaç, but completely destroyed the community's trust. The trauma experienced by people who had been eating at the same restaurant for years and breathing the same town air, upon learning what they were unknowingly exposed to, was indescribable. The incident caused the name Kırkağaç to become a national symbol of shame and horror. Yet Kırkağaç should have been known for its rich history, fertile lands, and warm Aegean people. The perversion of one person had stained the identity of an entire town. Psychologists, sociologists, and forensic experts study this case for many years. The perpetrator's motivation, the psychological depth required to carry out such an act, all of this became one of the darkest chapters in Turkey's crime history. The legal process moved quickly. Public outrage was immense. The perpetrator received the maximum penalty he deserved and was sent behind bars. But for those left behind, the real punishment was having to live with the hideous secret they encountered in that restaurant. Even years after this traumatic incident, Kırkağaç will always be remembered for the horror of that summer. This story painfully showed us that the greatest evil can be hidden even in the places we trust the most. It is necessary to tell such stories because history requires us to learn lessons, not only from victories, but also from the deepest wounds of society. To commemorate the innocent victims and the courage of the young hero who helped solve the case, confirming that justice was served. So what did you feel when you first heard about this horrific allegation? Do you think Kırkağaç can emerge from the shadow of this incident? Don't forget to share your thoughts respectfully in the comments. Until we uncover the next veil of secrecy, goodbye.